Doctors must learn to tolerate uncertainty. That's the headline of a guest essay by Daniela J. Alamas, a pulmonary and critical care physician at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston, published in the New York Times. Dr. Lamas opens with a scene at the bedside of her patient, Linda LeBlanc. Ms. LeBlanc's lungs were so scarred she required the highest level of oxygen available without a breathing tube. She had 3 plastic ducks on her bedside table and played with one as they talked. She asked if she could go home. Dr. Lamas told her she didn't think so. They had reviewed the lung images. Ms. LeBlanc had not responded to weeks of steroids and likely never would. Dr. Lamas laid out 2 paths: her lungs would worsen until high-flow oxygen wasn't enough, or she would decide that a life tethered to oxygen, short of breath and profoundly anxious, was no longer a life she wanted. In that case, they would remove the oxygen and keep her comfortable. No one would fault her, Dr. Lamas said. Ms. LeBlanc said she would think about it. The next day, she gave Dr. Lamas one of her ducks to give to her 3-year-old daughter. It would leave the hospital, even if she never could. Dr. Lamas felt certain, based on experience with similar patients, that her prognosis was correct. But she was wrong. Ms. LeBlanc's lungs improved, and she went home a month later. This should be a purely happy story, and Dr. Lamas was truly glad. But part of her was left unsettled. She realized she was functioning within a medical culture in which delivering a dire prognosis with certainty is seen as a positive and any softening feels like a failure. That thinking failed her and her patient that day. A generation ago, doctors didn't tell patients they were dying. Patients ended up on ventilators they would have opted against. The architecture of modern palliative care was built to fix that and to teach doctors to have the tough conversations they'd once avoided. The fix worked. But this correction comes with its own potential for harm. Doctors today are so afraid of protracting unnecessary suffering that we run the risk of being too certain, too soon. In the intensive care unit, our most important procedures are conversations, the family meetings in which doctors discuss a patient's prognosis. There is a rhythm to these meetings. Early on, we describe a range of possible outcomes, often offering best and worst case scenarios. Later, we return with what we believe is a clearer sense of what is to come. But there is enormous variability in how we do this. Some doctors are more dire. Others will hold out hope until a patient is actively dying, or until the care we deliver looks more like harm. Dr. Lamas tells her trainees who accompany her that uncertainty is not a failure of knowledge. It is an honest reflection of the limits of medicine. Learning to tolerate that uncertainty, and to communicate it honestly, may be the most important skill a doctor can develop. Thanks for listening.